Yeah, wanted to get up here because it's been what, maybe like 2 weeks or so. I've been really busy these past 2 weeks or so, man. Not even like on my free time. Like we had a 3-day this weekend. We had Friday and Saturday and today off. On Friday and yesterday, I didn't do anything. I laid in my bed all day and played Zelda all day for 2 days, man. Of course, I got up and ate and showered and stuff like that when I wanted to, but I didn't do nothing this weekend, man. And the reason why is because coming up soon here in the next couple days or so, we're going to be going out into the field. So I wanted to make sure that I took my time at home to relax and recharge before going out here to do our training, man. Now, this training that we're going to do is the same kind of training we did last year. It's just a section evaluations. But this time it took a lot out of me, man, because at the same time we're trying to prep for the field, we also had a lot of different things. I think mentally it just really got to me and just almost shut me down. You know what I'm saying? We got a new commander, so the new commander's in the middle of doing cyclics, in the middle of us prepping and go to the field. We just had our freaking military ball last weekend. What else? We had drivers training this same week. Also, just a lot going on at the same time that we're freaking trying to go out to the field, man. We still had services and stuff that we had to do. And then in the middle of us planning for us to go to the field, we're like, look, we're going to leave on a certain day. So we switch our plans up and we say, look, we're actually going to leave later now, which gives us more time to prep, do services, do maintenance and things that we got to do. But it was just stupid, man. We had this task force engineer week where all the E6 and above, any E6 and above non-commissioned officers, and then, I think second lieutenants and above for all the officers, we had to go sit in these briefs and we had to go do these things, man. Like we had to get some of our equipment, take it out there to the water so that we could show other engineer leaders what it is that we do. At some point the day after that, my battle buddy had to give a capabilities brief, which I've already done that before, but he had to give a capabilities brief to a bunch of people. I don't know who the highest ranking was that was there. It looked like some civilians was there too, but it was just stupid, man. It was crazy because, like I said, in the middle of us getting ready to go to the field, we have all this other stuff that we're doing at the same freaking time. And I know the importance of like doing stuff at the same time that you're doing one thing in the Army. If you can do things at the same time in the Army, like, okay, cool, whatever. It's cool. That's kind of what they want us to do. But it was just a lot. Mentally, I had different soldiers that I had different things I had to deal with them, personal issues. I had to write 2 NCOERs. I had to complete 2 NCOERs this week. They have already been started, but I had to make sure they was all finished up and everything. So that was at some super early mornings, just so I can make sure I got stuff squared away, man. It kind of felt like it did when I first became a platoon sergeant, and I was, trying to make sure I got in super early to make sure I knew what I had to do and stuff like that. But nowadays I don't come in as early because my new first sergeant that I see now, I don't see him coming in super early. So, but yeah, my new first sergeant, he comes in and he does his normal hours. He comes in at, he's there at like 6 o'clock and, he's gone every day by like 1700, something like that, But my last first sergeant, I used to see him come in early all the time. And I know that I can come in early, but I don't know. I just don't, because it's not because my first sergeant doesn't come in early. That's just another reason, like, hey, you're fine not coming in early. Your first sergeant don't come in early, so you're fine not coming in early. So I think that's my reason. And then when it comes to me staying late, I got my leaders like, Lynch, get out of here. They know that I will stay in there until 1900, making sure I got stuff squared away. But they want to go home and they don't want to have anybody here while they leave. So they kick us out too. So they're always kicking me out. 1630, 1700, 1730 the latest. They're like, Lynch, get out of here. I always got XO telling me, Lynch, get out of here. Company commander, old company commander used to come in, my prior company commander, be like, hey, get out of here. But yeah, I just had I don't know, man. I had a draining last 2 weeks, and I feel like that's whatever. Oh my freaking goodness, man. Oh my goodness. Not to mention our weapons qualification ranges that we had this week, man. We had an M4 we had 249, we have 50 cal. We had different ranges this week, and we're like, bro, we're trying to go to the field next week. Why aren't we focusing on getting ready for the field? Big shout out to BC Diddy. While we're out there at the range, this goofball. So in my office, there's a bunch of sticky notes all over my freaking office. It's not like crazy like you see them like sticky notes side by side by side by side. They're like randomly spread out. On the sticky note, I can't remember what he said. OODA loop. OODA loop. That's all that was written on these sticky notes, man. And there was probably like 20 of them all over my freaking office. OODA loop, OODA loop, OODA loop, OODA loop. I'm like, yo, what is this OODA loop that he's putting on here? What is it? Whenever I watch YouTube, I see on YouTube this dude, his name is Nardwar. I think that's him, Nardwar, right? So at the end of his interviews, he interviews all these musicians. And at the end of the interviews, he's always like, doot, doot, loop, loop. And he wants them to go doot, doot. Some of them do it, some of them don't. But for some reason, I saw that OODA loop, and I swore that that's what he was trying to do. And I'm like, why? Why this out of all things? So we get to the range, and I'm like, what the heck was all that? Like, because BC Diddy's there. He's there at the range. I'm like, yo, what was up with all that in my office on the sticky notes? I said, I can't remember exactly what it said. I said, but it made me think of Nardwar, doot, doot, loot, loop. And he was like, what? I don't know. And I remember I was trying to explain, and I was like, oogaloogaloop. I said oogaloop or something, oogaloogaloop or something weird like that. And then I did a hand movement with it. So that's why in the chat, BC's putting the oogaloogaloogaloogaloop. And then it's so crazy. I'm trying to enjoy my weekend and chill and play Zelda. And I start getting messages on my group on the group chat. And you should see how long. It's like 50 lines long of oogaloogaloogaloop. I'm like, bruh, come on, man. Not only him, but one of my other sergeants got in on it. And not just them two, one of my staff sergeants got in. I'm like, bruh, please.
Look at this. That's from one. All it is. Here's me. I'm like, oh my freaking goodness. Here go the staff sergeant right here. I guess he copied and pasted. All this. And then I think the first one, no, this is the other one right here. All this. And then even after this, look at this one. Watch this one. This one is so long right here. It just puts it on a whole different thing. All of this. All of this.
What are these guys? What is up with it, man? So my week was my last 2 weeks, kind of draining a little bit, I got to give a big shout out. And it's a good thing when you have soldiers that are in high spirits. They're focused on bringing the morale up without being without being corny and forceful with it and stuff like that. You get your soldiers that are really genuine about like bringing up the morale and stuff like that. Some of them are just natural. You got some soldiers who just have a great attitude. They just in the fight and they want there to be positive vibes throughout the training and throughout the day and stuff. I'm really feeling bad for. Let me go put my merch on real quick, man. I gotta put my merch on, okay? I don't know. I feel like I should be wearing it, but let me go throw this on real quick. Okay, had to switch up my shirt real quick. But yeah, it's really nice. It's good when you have those soldiers that are like naturals. Sometimes that's me, and I feel like that's why BC Diddy feels like he can act the way that he acts with me at work. He's professional when he needs to be professional, and if it's cool to play, then he plays. And that's the same way that I am. When it's time to work, it's time to work. It's time to be professional. But I like to have fun too. So it doesn't always have to be 100% serious all the time at work. I like for it to be most of the time, but to be honest with you, you just have soldiers with different personalities, and some just don't get down like that. So sometimes it's cool to play around, but we still got to uphold the standard and have that discipline and military bearing and stuff like that too. But it's good to have BC Diddy be goofy like that with me, along with our other NCO who was there with us. I don't know if I want to say his name just yet, but he's one of my good E5s. I came up with him when I first got to this duty station in 2017. He was in my section. He was in my squad. He got promoted. I got promoted. It's good. We both promoted. We both back together in the same unit. But he was there with us too. And I think the thing that gets me the most is these I like to call them young E5s, young sergeants, man. You see them together and like their camaraderie, how they are with each other. It's a little refreshing to see them as they are. Because as you move up in the ranks in leadership, man, I have 2 other sergeants first class in my company. Right, so it's kind of like that same way with the sergeants, but there's more of them. I think I have 9 E5s total that are under my leadership. They have moments where they can bond together. They're there for each other. They might not always go there to each other at certain times, but if you think about it, like they're always there. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you have your 1 or 2 or 3 that stick together at all times. But for me, it's the same. It's like that same way. I have my other 4 battle buddies that are there when I need them. But in my platoon, I'm the only sergeant first class. So who can I really get with in my platoon on my level? You know what I'm saying? That I can be goofy with or whatever, have special, you know what I mean? So when I see my E5s together like that, just being goofy or whatever the case may be, when we get the chance, it's refreshing to see stuff like that. I don't bark on them too much. I let them do their thing. They being goofy, okay, but when it's time to train the troops, it's time to train the troops. And no, I don't freaking get jealous, okay? I don't get jealous. It's good to see y'all like that. I'm not like, man, I can't never do that. Freaking goofball. It's good to see y'all do that.